Good morning, everyone. This is Vance Williams, and welcome to my morning Forex trading show. It's cold here in Texas, and I hear it's cold all over the place. They're getting many feet of snow back east. Anyway, glad to be here. It's Thursday morning. I believe it's November 13th. Let me just double check here. Yes, absolutely. It's 13th. So welcome to my show. I'm going to talk about quite a few things today, as you saw in my note. Just real quickly, I want to show you a showcase live. If I go over to this page, once you click on the show that you're watching, I want just bring your attention really quickly here to when you click play, also click be a part of the conversation right here, and that'll show you a little bit more about what I'm talking about. Okay? All right. So first of all, I want to talk a little bit about the big banks. The trades, what I'm seeing. Oh, one more thing. On the showcase that I just told you to click on the top right, it'll bring you to my web page where you can download free books here, and also you can follow me on Twitter if you like, and you'll receive a note, a few minutes before the show starts. It'll tell you basically my main topic, and I always cover price and fundamentals. But you can set that to let your phone know, and I cover some really cutting edge stuff. If you follow my show regularly, I've been doing this for 10 years. I get a good read on fundamentals, and using my price logic approach to analysis of very, very accurate price reads. But you have to follow for a little while and watch. Okay, so I'm gonna go ahead and get off of that page, and give me just a moment here. I'm gonna change it over to the charts. Just a moment. There we go. All right, so hopefully you're seeing charts. Let me just double check that you are. I'm still operating with limited equipment here. I'm traveling out to visit some family for something that's going on here. So I have about 10% of my internet power and 10% of my computing power, but gratefully it's been going really well. Been able to do the shows all morning this week. And by the way, I do these shows Monday through Thursday. They don't have a set time. Sometimes a little earlier, around 8 a.m. Eastern, sometimes a little later, around 8:30 a.m. Eastern. Just depends on the day. All right, so talk a little bit about the banks. What I see the banks doing right now, I'm talking big banks. I don't want to name names. You kind of want to stay out of that. But we're talking about banks. I say I'm not going to name names. I'm going to say that banks like Credit Suisse, J.P. Morgan, Morgan Stanley, Danske, these types of banks. I've been following them for a while and watching their styles of trading and watching how they make their decisions and what they're doing, more importantly, in real time, what they're doing right now. And it's interesting to see the decisions they make and how differently they trade. They don't all do the same thing. Obviously, some of you guys know that, but it's been interesting watching. Now, I always like to tell you that the source of this bank information that I'm receiving, I cannot verify and validate that the information I'm getting is true. But so far, what the information I have been getting has been consistent with my reads on the market. So keep that in mind. I'm seeing the banks be a little bit more cautious now, managing their risk. For example, one of the banks that is one of the top 3 earners over the past 5 months. They continually keep looking to get a better price for the euro for that next leg down they're looking for. On the word on the street in terms of serious Forex traders and big banks is we're looking for a drop of the euro, the next leg down about 122. We don't know when that's going to happen, but it's likely that it will happen. And so current market conditions factor into that. And right now, as I was about to say, one of the big banks is doing what several of them were doing last week, is just looking for a better price, up around 125.50, like I talked about yesterday on the show. So they're not feeling comfortable about, some of them anyway, taking positions right now. They'd like a better price. So that'll give you an idea about, and they're all trading differently. Trading different currency pairs and what have you. Now, on the fundamentals, we've had a story of medium term, that's 6 to 18 months out, medium term vision, stronger US dollar, weaker euro. There was a question mark with respect to the pound US dollar. And that question was basically wiped out yesterday when Carney spoke and painted a bleaker picture of the UK economy. And so based upon everything I was seeing, I thought we'd see, the pound had no place to go but down. So you can watch yesterday's show to see what I was saying about that. And we did get that drop. Let me pop over to my charts real quick. Let me drop this control down and go over the pound. So I'm going to talk about the price movement in just a bit. So overall, long term, our fundamental story, for those of you who are following those medium term trades, you're looking, not to trade for weeks or anything, but really just looking for that longer term sentiment that's going to drive that next leg down for the euro. That story that we've been telling, stronger USD, weaker eurozone, it just got a little bit stronger because the UK and the potential divergence between the markets, that was confirmed yesterday. So that basically what that means is it made the US dollar look just a little bit more stronger. Okay, so I mentioned I was going to talk about some fines. Some of our team members brought to my attention yesterday. There was a topic about bank manipulation. My first reaction was, central banks manipulate all the time. It's part of Forex trading, and they primarily do it with policy. But as we looked into it, there was about $3 billion worth of fines levied against some big banks. These were banks like JP Morgan, Citi, Bank of Scotland, and Swiss UBS. And $3 billion is a lot of fines. But after I read about it and found out what the issue really was, it wasn't about manipulation of the Forex market, really. It was just outright misconduct. What was happening is some of these banks, the dealers were providing these bigger banks with the traders' orders were. I mean, it's like, I don't know, it's like, it's not even inside information, it's inside facts. It's basically, they were able to see where tons of these orders were sitting and profit from that. So, blame the banks? I don't know. I mean, the dealers are the ones who have the misconduct, providing them the information in the first place. Banks, for the most part, banks they just get big fines. The misconduct is on the part of the dealers providing them with information, in my opinion. But to give you an idea, the Swiss bank, UBS, was fined the largest amount at $661 million. So this was a pretty big deal. Looks like it's been going on back since 2010. So anyway, a little more oversight and regulation in there now. Traders asked if I thought it really affected us. I think obviously it could a little bit, but it's in that area of random events that don't really affect with our style of trading. Okay, so let's take a look at price real quick. Let's go over to let's stay with the pound since we were talking about Carney. Yesterday when we did the show, I was saying that price needed to come through this level right here, and we had been talking about buy orders being in this area, buy orders being in this area, and you see the buyers here. There's an equal number of buyers and sellers right in this area, and that's what creates this bounce. Two bounces, one here, one there. And then eventually the reality of the situation sets in. Wow, to lift the pound, nothing. And so they eventually drop through. They do it slow, and it's a slow, choppy ride down, but since yesterday morning, let's see, it's moved down about 60 pips. So it almost looked as if the pound speculators who really want to buy it have been dragged kicking and screaming into reality. So that's where we're at now. At the same time, if you look, we've got a little bit of divergence. What I mean, I don't mean price divergence. I mean, we've got the pound moving down. We've got the dollar, the euro dollar uncertain. We've got the Kiwi moving up. So New Zealand USD moving up. The Aussie, Australian dollar USD, has been moving up. So we've got a little divergence you can see where the AU and NU and EU have been moving up while the pound's moving down, and that's partially attributed to the news from yesterday. But everybody's looking for the next. We say leg down on the euro. I say we're probably starting to get to the point where we're looking for the next leg up for the US dollar, which is euro down, Australian dollar down, Kiwi down. So I want to zoom in just a little bit closer on that and see if there was a potential trade here. We, in price logic analysis, you're not trading little symbols. Symbols are candle patterns, chart patterns, whatever. I mean, those can be useful, but symbols represent something way more important, which is human behavior. And if you're not trading the human behavior, it's a little like being superstitious about how you go about making your decisions. I mean, that's how reliable it is. But anyway, so when I drop down to a 5 minute, I'm trying to look exactly what the behavior is. I'm looking for specific behaviors that repeat over and over again. And I cannot see if the behavior that repeats is there on the 30-minute chart. So I got to zoom into the 5-minute chart and take a closer look. And see, when I do, what I see is I see a nice move here. This is the pattern that we're looking for. Clear move, seller strength, pull back, second push, right there. So that's what we look for. And so you've got to be able to know when the buyers and sellers have an advantage. You've got to know how strong that advantage is. That way you can know how to manage your risk. Do I have enough? Is there enough of an advantage to get in and out with good risk management? And then you've got to compensate also for nuances and current market conditions. If there's a little more uncertainty coming into a barrier, for example, you need to get a better price. You can't just jump in and be aggressive, stuff like that. All right, so I would put a fib there, and it looks like there was a trade pulled back to 38.2, in between 38 and 50%, and that move was that was probably one of the best trades there. Some people would have been apprehensive about it just squeaking through that area right there, but looks pretty good. So I saw a bunch of posts in our members where they get training from myself and a couple of others, but I think they did catch this trade. So right now we've got a smaller move. One of the things that I would notice here is you look at the strength of the move, 27. And then this next advance, we're always looking at the advance. If we were to measure that one, it starts about right here, and it only goes about 10. So if you get your eyes tuned into this, where you've got advantage, strength of advantage, and you know how to measure these correctly, you end up being able to see that the sellers are getting weaker and weaker, and that's why this totally reverses right here. I do have a Fibonacci video at forexartofwar.com. You'll see it says, it's right on the top of my page, one of the top 3 or 4 videos. It says Master the Fibonacci. That will teach you the technique I developed that will enable you to see these new waves with precision. So be sure to check that out. So let's pop over to the euro. So and when I was publishing high impact data yesterday, and then I move this, I just kind of mentioned, I didn't show a picture of it because I had another picture, but I was pointing, I gotta get rid of this. I was pointing to this, trend line up here, showing where price is kind of getting weaker as it moved up through these tops. But we could lower this down a little bit if you wanted to, so it'd be about right in there. But this is basically the area where, the medium-term buyers, medium-term sellers equal about 50%, and you can see that the buyers, their ability to push it higher is growing weaker and weaker over time. At the same time, it's grown into this wedge right here. And then more recently, what I have here is these are supply and demand lines using TD points, showing you short term right now where those key levels are. And so we're in a range right now of about 40 pips. So we've got a really strong level right here at 2,500. Not even the conviction to push it up there again like it did yesterday. And then we got this level down here at 2,400 and 2,369. So the issue that we have here with the euro is that we've got buy orders parked here, buy orders parked there, lots of sell orders parked all through here. So there's just buying and selling interest all over the place, right? We don't have clear advantage on the part of the buyers or the sellers. So I will say that the trader that put the sell order in at 125.50, looking for a better price on this leg down, probably has some of the most successful trades. My feeling is if it goes up to 25.50, it might travel a little higher before it reaches down, but we'll see if that even happens. So, you know, for members of our team, you guys just follow your trading plans. We've got a really good read on things. If it fits your plan, take it. If it doesn't fit your plan, don't take it. And just keep in mind, there's a little period of uncertainty happening right now with respect to the euro dollar. But the story is definitely longer term down. Just want to remind you again, going back to my control panel. Let me just show you real quick. Where is it? There it is. If you're on my website, you know, on the top right here, here's where you can get 8 things in the first battle. They're free. I pretty much stopped emailing. I found it's just not very reliable. So you would be getting them on mailing list, but you know, maybe I'll send an email once a week, just to give you, you know, information that may be really valuable to you, kind of direct you to where to get it. So do get those books there, because you're gonna enjoy them. And also write to me if you have any questions. Members, I'm going to be seeing you guys at 9:30 a.m. Eastern in our live trading room. We'll do our last session of the week. For all of you that have listened in today and who are listening later, most of my viewers watch later. They watch the replay later. It's available anytime. But you guys just have a great trading day. I hope you got one idea that helps you with your trading this morning. And you guys have a great weekend. Thank you.